you are probably not content with where you are right now in life, and that's completely normal. It's very difficult to become content, and only if you ever have really tried to get your goals and succeeded, you will in some way actually feel content. But I'm going to show you how to get there. I'm going to show you how to achieve anything that is within the laws of physics by applying three simple principles. So let's get straight into this. It's not going to be a course, not a mastermind or anything like that. How do you achieve anything? Using psychological principles to propel yourself forward towards your goal. This is not going to be a astrology or like super bullshit lesson. This is going to be concrete steps that you can take today. So listen up. There is that famous line from Nietzsche: he who has a strong enough why can bear almost any how. Think of willpower like a battery. It eventually drains. Your why is the alternator. It generates its own power while you're on moving. When the pain sets in, willpower quits, but a deep reason stays and fights on almost an instinctual level. This is extremely important because sometimes you start a new hobby, you start a new habit, you go to the gym, you actually start reading, or you start at your work and you start to wake up early and do something nice. You will feel motivated for maybe a week or two, and I have been there. And then you just eventually quit. You think it's too hard, you don't need to do it, and you kind of forget the reason that you started. Well, the reason for that is you don't have a why. It's very difficult to motivate yourself to go to the gym, to just become fit, if there's no actual underlying clarity of why you want to do that thing. Like, if you want to get rich, like why? That's the first question. Because if you want to get rich to just buy a car, well, you're not going to make it, because it's very easy to dream. It's very easy to sit there and think of, oh, I want this car, or oh, I want to have this woman, or if you're a girl, I want to have this man. It's it's not strong enough. So therefore we're going to start finding your why. And most people stop at the surface. So let's say, for example, I want to get fit. That is not a why. That's the result or the goal. You need to do the 7 levels deep drill. And this is just like a random name I came up with. So you need to write down what you want, then ask why to the answer. And then you need to ask why to that answer until it gets uncomfortable. And that's exactly what I have done on this paper right here. And that paper has my financial goals, and it actually has a few other goals as well. And I have just written down on a piece of paper why I want to be financially free. Then I have why do I want that, why do I want that, why do I want that. So it usually looks like this. I want to be rich. Why? So I don't stress about bills. Why? So I feel secure. Why? Because I grew up watching my parents scream at each other over money and I felt helpless. And in this case, the real why is to never feel that helpless again. And usually you will find your reason before 7 levels deep. And if you don't, well, you're just gonna have to keep digging. Now, do you see the difference? I want to be rich won't get you out of bed at 5 a.m., but I refuse to be helpless kind of will. And in my opinion, to never feel that helpless again is a pretty good reason to get to work. I'm not gonna sit here and throw out all my personal deep insecurities and reasons for why I do what I do. Like, why do I sit here and make YouTube videos? Well, in some sense, every YouTuber has either the goal to become rich or to become famous. And at the bottom of that, there are so many different reasons why you would like to do this. But in a biologically deep level, everybody wants power, and fame will get you power, money will get you power. So that is, for example, one reason. And why you might want to get power is because you were always powerless. Maybe you were powerless towards people around in your environment. Maybe you felt powerless against your abusive parents. And it's that simple. Like, most people have some kind of deep hurt, and you don't have to be like you don't need to be abused to be able to succeed. That's not what I'm saying. But usually there's some deep feeling of not being enough, feeling some type of insecurity, and yeah. Now that we have that out of the way, let's get on to the next step. So if passion doesn't work, use fear. So if you can't find a happy reason, you need to find a scary one. And because we are hardwired to run from pain, and this I've talked about before in previous videos, the human condition is basically it's basically suffering. And to reduce suffering is the human's main goal. And that we do by, for example, it's not like everything that's hard that we're trying to do takes energy. And that's why we don't want to do them. Because biologically and instinctively, you want to conserve as much energy as possible. That's just how our evolutionary process happened. We were optimized to survive and endure, not to go to the gym and waste energy. And yeah. So you need to ask yourself, what does my life look like in 5 years if I changed absolutely nothing? And if that's not scary enough, you can project it forwards into 10 years or 15 or 50 years. And then you will actually see, well, if I do nothing right now, if I don't go to talk to that person, if I don't have this meeting, if I don't start this business, if I don't quit my job and move abroad, if there's something that is kind of grinding you from the inside that tells you to do something that you know you should do, but you feel too scared to do it, ask yourself what would happen if you didn't do that thing and just kept on living the way you were living. I personally know that, well, I'm in a pretty good position right now, but if I stay like this for another couple of months, I'm going to become depressed because my life revolves around progress. It revolves around learning new things, and it really actually revolves around, like, if I don't learn or progress or change, I die. So that's my fear-based approach. And you really need to visualize this. The health problems, the same stalled bank account, the regrets of wasting half a decade, make the pain of staying the same scarier than the pain of doing the work. That rocking chair test is brutal but effective. Imagine being 90 years old and realizing you missed your shot. I think that's probably one of the worst things that could happen to me. I would rather perish in the pursuit of greatness than sit there at 90 years old and just fucking regret things. I think I would rather die at 50, live a great life, than regret things at 80 or 90. And it might sound very cliche, but I truly believe that in some sense. Because, yeah, honestly, not chasing my goals honestly disgusts me to a large degree. Now let's get on with the last step. Sorry for this bad formatting right here. And before we actually continue, I have a reading list which you can get by putting your email. The link will be down in the description below. Number 3, action comes before motivation. This is the biggest lie we tell ourselves. I'll do it when I feel like it. And this has followed me for a long time. I don't do it right now, but this was a big thing for me. Let's say you got a piece of homework and I was supposed to do that, and then I'll just play Minecraft, or I'll just hang out with my friends instead. I'll do it when I feel like it. That was a big mistake. You're never going to feel like it, and the equation is backward. We think we need motivation to take action, and in reality, action leads to motivation. And this is one of the most important things you need to understand about effort, action, motivation. Motivation is not really real. I know people that are like not motivated, but they do more than everybody else, and it's for the simple reason that they have a strong enough why, and that they also just like hate losing. they love winning, and they just have this momentum in their life where it doesn't matter if I went out and go partying. Like, let me tell you a quick story. So this summer I went with some of my friends to the southern region of France in Nice, a beautiful city. That's where my dad is from. And essentially we went partying really hard. Came home at like 3 a.m. The next morning I felt like shit, but I still went on a run in 30-degree heat. Was that the smartest decision? Did I feel like shit for a while afterwards? Yes. But I still did it. Because to me, being consistent, doing the things required to stay in shape and so on are more important than just temporary pain. So, how to actually start today? Well, you need to anchor the why. So I want you to create a document on your computer where you design your dream life. And you don't have to be humble here. This is the problem I see with a lot of people today, is that a lot of people just like who have never heard about psychology or like self-improvement or anything like that, they'll just put down like they do a vision board, put it on the wall, a car and stuff like that. They have no intention really behind it. They just, oh, I like this, I like this, I like this. Then there are those people that I previously was, where somehow it is moral to be less hedonistic and like want less things, but in the same way that we're not actually going to go that deep. I'll keep that for another video. But essentially I don't want you to be a monk here. Like, truly, don't lie to yourself. You want a nice car, you want a nice house, you want a beautiful partner. It's not like you're going to live this monk lifestyle or this like super minimalistic lifestyle just because you can. You want to live that lifestyle because you will get praised for your minimalism. Like, that's the reason. So stop that bullshit. Put down your dream car, your dream house, your dream woman, your dream physique, your watches, your clothes, accessories, and so on. And I want you to be extremely specific. You can go onto Pinterest, you can go onto Google, you can find images, and I want you to take these images, and I want you to, like, if you want to know the level of detail I have on these kinds of things, I literally have let me pull up this. So I literally have the exact floor plan of the exact apartment I want in the exact building in the exact city I want to move to. If that's not some type of dedication, well, here it is. Then you're going to lower the bar, and this might be counterintuitive to what you just heard, but stop trying to move mountains by day one. Establish a floor, which is a minimum standard, so low that you can't say no. So some people, they promise themselves that they are going to make $1 million by the next year, or I'll become like a superhero physique within 6 months. That's not possible for you. Some people can achieve it, but you are not going to do that. Let me just tell you right now, it is difficult to make money. It is difficult to have a great physique, and by the laws of physics, you will not be able to build that physique unless maybe you take steroids, but that's another story. And to do this, I will just show you a quick sheet that I made as an example. Alright, so this is a sheet that I made. I just named it Generational Lock-In. Here is where you have a date, you have the type of training, I have read 1 hours or more, deep work, YouTube video, the monthly recurring revenue of the business, the wake up time, some specific habits like cold shower, and plan tomorrow. I'm not going to show you my personal sheet of how consistent I am because it's personal, But this is ideally what it would look like. And of course, the business revenue would go up and you would have some type of training each one of these days. So let's say you do like Muay Thai, then you do calisthenics, then you do gym, then you do walk and mobility, and so on. Now, one of these things, I would start with a few of these, but you can start with one or two of these different habits. And personally, for the last maybe 1.5 months, so over 30 days right now, I've taken a cold shower every single morning. No matter how cold it is, no matter what I feel, no matter when I wake up, no matter how tired I am, I've always taken a cold shower. And, well, that's like my non-negotiable habit. Now, the last thing you can do is actually expect the quit point. So, you need to really think about this one. It's really important. So take a few hours or however long you need it. You know exactly when you usually give up. So when you get sore, when you get busy, or when you say that, oh, I have too much to do, or I don't feel like it. So if your pattern is to quit after 1.5 weeks after going to the gym consistently, well, you need to find out and decide right now exactly what you will do when that moment hits. And if you have a plan for that pain, it won't really surprise you. So after 1.5 weeks, when you feel tired, when you feel like, oh, I'm not going to the gym, you pull up this big document that you have with all of the desired outcomes that you have for yourself, the car, the house, the girlfriend, or everything. And you look at it and you say to yourself, okay, is it worth to not go to the gym today to give up this big dream? Or you could also use your fear of the potential outcome if you don't do anything. So those are two different options. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said, link down below in the description, completely free. I will send you my reading list of the good books on philosophy, business, finance, everything that I read. Link down below. Have a nice night. Peace.